Hello, so today I'm going to be repotting the Philodendron Esmeraldense narrow. This is one that I really have not been taking care of a ton, but it's been fairly easy overall, and it's a climber. At least that's what we read, and it seems like it's kind of like doing this weird contorted thing. But you can see here that it definitely, I think it's in need of repotting. Now this pot's awfully big compared to the one that it was in, but you know what, we're gonna give it a whirl regardless, just because, you know what, sometimes we do things that are just not always exactly, yeah. And I always say that, like, a lot of people say don't only do a pot one or two sizes above the size that you're in. I think it depends on the plant, and I wouldn't be doing it if it was like, you know, annuals or really dainty plants, or any kind of like string kind of plants, like a string of hearts or things like that. I wouldn't be doing if that's the case with any of that. But on some of these aroids, a lot of the aroids, they, especially if they've got like a wide span or they're coming out quite a bit, they can do okay. Now, you'll see a lot of people that will do like the moss poles with like the clear containers, and it's a really small container, and that's fine too, because what you're doing is you're allowing the
moss pole to be the soil.
Yeah, pretty much. It's an extension of the soil. But, you know, I haven't had a problem with doing this. It seems like, you know, I'm going to do also a moss pole, so this will end up being a giant. You can look over here, and you can see everything's crazy in the room right now, but repotting today like crazy. But you can see here I've got a Florida. I've got several things, actually, and they're doing quite well. And it's kind of like the same concept. You know, I put them on a moss pole, and I also put them in a bigger pot, and it's doing quite well. So I think it just depends on what kind of plant you're going for. Philodendrons tend to like, climbing, and okay, we'll go ahead and put that there. Well, I shouldn't say that, but not all philodendrons are climbers.
So, a lot of them are, though.
Yeah, but a lot of them are. And then don't mind the carpet here, because this is going to end up turning into tile at some point. Everyone always gets all whatever about the carpet. This is just an extra room that we had. We don't care about the carpet in this room, and we just vacuum it up. We vacuum it up, and then we don't want to spend whatever it costs right now to get the tile, but we will do that at some point when we feel like it. But it is going to be an undertaking because of how many plants. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to take, this is slightly moistened moss, and I like to put it on like that. This is rabbit fencing, and we get this at Lowe's, and I kind of probably pack it in there more than I need to, but
this is true.
Another thing about the carpet too, this is a weird thing, it doesn't mold or anything like that. People ask that question a lot, but you know, it's kind of almost like, I feel like it's my sandbox, sort of like it's the place to like not have to worry about, you know, whatever. If you spill it, it's like almost like this feeling of rebellion or something, kind of weird thing. I don't know. Sometimes you just gotta live life. And
she is pretty rebellious.
But I get it though. You know, I get it, because it's like you do want to keep things good as long as possible. We've had this house for what, 3 years now? 3 years, and this room's been through quite a bit.
Yes, it has.
And so, you know, we definitely. The carpet's gotten it.
This carpet anyways,
the carpet's gotten its, you know, use. You could say. Carpet, we don't like carpet anyways.
No, we don't.
I like the feeling of carpet sometimes, but. And then we got zip ties here. So you see, I filled that all up. Kind of looks like a casserole, sort of. Maybe. You think?
A sphagnum moss casserole?
Something, or like maybe.
Sounds delicious.
What do you think? Something like that? Or I feel like this is the cheese. Yeah.
You know what? I can see it.
I can feel it. So I try to get like it pretty well packed in there. Probably more than I should. I do usually like eight little squares. That's gonna make kind of on the smaller end, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's all we really need.
Yeah, I'm not going to, and I like to, the first one, actually, I don't know if you care to do it like this, but I like to go really at the bottom, and you want to be careful about doing two, and then, so I won't fasten that all the way, but what I am gonna do, not quite yet, I will in a minute. Oh, dang it. Okay, that hurt. So then I'm gonna get, for good control, because there is more, probably put them, does that look right? right there?
No. Let me see. Wait. Let me see.
And if we're going to also be putting a stake on there, and we do it a couple ways, kind of actually. So we'll first just kind of do what we can to like basically like kind of get things kind of together a little bit. We'll come and fasten these a little bit more here in a little bit.
Huh.
I just think that's a little bit better.
Okay.
I've noticed. Oh, dang it. So there's going to be spaces. I guess I should have probably like a pattern on how often I'm doing these, but I think it depends on how much moss you have in there. So it really just kind of depends on how much moss. Because if you have more moss, obviously maybe you may have more gaps in between, so you may need to do them a little closer together. But like I said, what we're going to do is we're going to put on a stake afterwards and it's using a lot of zip ties. So I suppose there's probably better ways to do it, but this is the way I'm doing it. So. And it's not perfect, and I'm okay with that.
You know what? It works, so it's perfect.
Uh-oh. Well, that one is wrong, but whatever.
Oh, no.
That's okay. We're going to go with it. And some of the things, I think something that's important is, sometimes we're afraid, and I notice this, you have a lot of projects, Eki, that you do, and I know sometimes I hear you making mistakes, and you'll say things, oh shoot, but then you fix them.
Yeah.
But that's the interesting thing. I think sometimes people don't do stuff because they're too afraid, like what you said earlier.
Yep.
You, analysis paralysis, something like that.
Paralysis by analysis.
Yeah, and so I think sometimes just knowing that, hey, it's okay to mess up, and just figure out, for your next one. And it's not going to be perfect. And I think understanding that when I first started, first Eki started doing the moss pools. And when I first started doing moss pools after him, I was like a little bit intimidated at first to do it. But I was like, what? So what?
Yeah, why intimidated?
I think that I want to kind of get that way with like even building things or like hanging up. I think there's a part of me though that knows if something's off or wrong and that I did it.
Hung up,
Or like, if I see you doing it, then all of a sudden it's like, I don't know that it's wrong. I mean, unless there's something like a spacing thing.
Yeah.
But I don't pay attention. I think I don't do it sometimes because I'm like, okay, I'll know that it's off, and then all of a sudden I'll be looking at it the whole time because I know I put it up. It's kind of a weird thing, I don't know. But funny. That's why sometimes. But I'm gonna squish this kind of.
So that's why you have me hang everything up?
Probably because I know that if I have it like off, unless I know that you're gonna get it done faster than I am gonna get it done, because I will get really annoyed if I put it up wrong and I feel like it's not stable enough or something.
Right.
And then I will like look at it forever. And then it's just kind of weird. Oh, I can't, that hurt my hip.
Oh.
All right. Okay, so we're
almost
adding more, and this is going to be for the Esmeraldense. Kind of doing it all in one. Usually I just do the repotting, and I don't do a moss pole, but we're making them pretty quick.
Yeah,
so,
we are getting pretty fast at it.
So it is something that I figured, we could do just a really quick one. And then get this going with because like I'm really in that mood today to get a lot of stuff done in the plant room. We've been spending all day doing stuff.
We have.
So
it's about 5 o'clock. We've been going since like 9 a.m.
Yeah. So, but we got a lot done.
Yes,
and
we did.
Like my favorite thing to do is obviously plant stuff, but there's a lot of chores that come with that.
Yes, there is.
And a lot of plant chores, and it's never ending. You're always repotting something, pest control. Just found one plant that had some scale on it, and I hate scale. Scale's probably my
yeah, it was kind of an ordeal.
Yeah. Well, it was just kind of annoying.
It's frustrating.
Yeah, because the plant you couldn't really tell.
No.
And a lot of times the scale you can't tell.
Right.
Okay, so I'm missing a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because see.
Well, we'll just add it to the top. You know what I mean?
And then I just like having it in there. There's gotta be some. Okay.
It's over.
Okay, so.
Oh, here's some. That's kind of funny. Only in the plant room would be like, oh, here's some sphagnum moss just hanging around. Just like, seriously, I just looked over. I was like, oh, here's some.
That's funny.
who else can just sit there and be like, man, I need some more. We just need a little bit more sphagnum moss. It's like, oh, here, right to my left.
That was a little funny. So now that I got all this in there, I'm gonna kind of go ahead and tighten these up just a little bit. I don't want them to be squished. The reason why I think that I decided to do this, because one of the other moss poles that we had, we tightened it a little bit too much, and it squeezed it and made it look like a corset. And I think
it's just because you put too much sphagnum moss in it.
No, okay. I want it to be full, because because a lot of it will fall out. So and then
we just take the scissors and we
so now
those off.
I need probably more sphagnum moss there, but now the next thing that we're gonna do, got some more. Woo! Okay, so I'm just going to put that in here, and okay, all right. So I'm happy with this moss pole so far. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is, let's see here.
Clip off those or no?
Yeah. Where's this? Oh, here's the scissors. So I just need to make sure that they're right, though. I really need to find a way to do something with these extras on the zip ties. We should get probably the smaller ones, but this is just what we have.
It's just a lot of plastic.
Yeah. If you guys can think of something to do to reuse these, let me know, because it's really, I don't like throwing them away, because I feel like there is a good use somewhere.
Somehow.
So this is going to go like this. And what I usually like to do, now this one has been contorted, I guess you could say, however you want to say it.
Unruly, I call that.
So now I'll need plant tape. But what I'm going to do,
here's the stake.
Yeah, but, oh boy, okay. So now the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to I figure out where I want it to go, and then kind of like getting an idea where it's going to be staked up. And then I'm going to go ahead and push this stake in, okay? And I probably could put it a little closer to the plant, but I'm not going to. Then the next thing that I'll do is take some more, and I don't know how I'm going to do this with one hand, but maybe I'll start up here. And what I try to do is, and I don't know if you do this, Eki, but I try to take the other places.
Yes, exactly.
That gives it more security, I guess you could say.
I like to go in between
And then it kind of closes the plant.
Great minds think alike.
Yes. It go ahead and clamps it up a little bit more.
Yep.
So then,
but I don't do that many. Like it only needs like 3.
Not me.
What?
I don't like.
I don't like using that much.
I don't care.
Zip ties, I don't need to. But.
Okay, so I do. You don't like using anything like. You barely use any soap. You barely use any.
Barely use any toothpaste.
Toilet paper. You're
Why use more toilet paper than we need? Save on
I don't know.
Toilet paper is not cheap.
I've rationed my stuff out enough in life. I don't need to ration it anymore. And I'm not wasting, so I definitely like to have that. I think it's more of a security thing for me than anything else. I like to just the extra.
If you look at the moss poles, I literally put 3 zip ties on the moss pole.
Not me. Not me. So here we go. So you can see I'm going in between the spots, and so it's really just giving it more, and that kind of probably helps make sense of the beginning part that we were doing.
Yep.
Where we're just kind of putting some spaces in between where there's gaps where it's like bulging out like a fat man in a
me in my pants. Got it.
With his buttons popping out or whatever. So so this is what that's doing here. And I'll probably just go to this one here, maybe.
Looks good.
That's good. Okay, so, nope, that's not gonna work. Sometimes it's easy to get this flipped around and get it. Probably did it again.
No, you're good.
Okay, I probably could do it at the bottom too.
Nah.
But we're good. So once again, clip, 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 clip. Got hair in my way. Clip, clip. Okay. So now the next part of it is going to be to take the plant tape. This can be quite a lengthy process, but I think I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, you're doing really well on time.
And just getting it all, because this thing has not, honestly, this thing has not been.
And when you have a stake like this, you usually want to put the pointy end into the ground But you know,
it doesn't matter.
Either way, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I looked at that yesterday on one of them, and I just was like, whatever. So I tried to pay attention to that, but so now this is, if you turn this around, this is kind of, because it's just been kind of doing, I'll have to be very careful. One of the things that is really interesting about philodendrons in general is they start to get, like, you see that hardening, almost like a hardening part of it to protect the stem. So when it does bend or contort, that it does not break. Right. So it's kind of, I don't know what that's called, but I just know from experience that that's what
it's like
they do.
Exoskeleton type of thing.
Well, and it really does protect. Right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a good, and once again, I do not like doing it just like there. I got to do a little extra. So I'm going to take, I'm actually going to measure this time, measure them out.
I can't believe you just did that.
And did what?
That you measured it.
I don't usually do that. So, well, when I'm trying to, like, for efficiency, I'll do it. But sometimes it's like I enjoy the process, you know?
Yep.
And I'm okay with things. You know, everything else in life, I feel like I'm hurrying. Sometimes that's for good reason, and then other times I'm just like, I don't care about, like, it's kind of like I like washing dishes, but I hate washing them. But I like washing them and taking my time. I could throw them in a dishwasher. Our dishwasher that doesn't currently work, but I mean, maybe it does. I don't know. I don't like it. I've never liked dishwashers. I never probably will like a dishwasher.
We're old school.
I don't care.
We're old school, coming from growing up in houses that didn't even have dishwashers. So
yeah,
it's weird. Every house that we've had a dishwasher, but we never used it.
I don't. Yeah, we just don't do that. So now I'm gonna go ahead and put this close as I can to the moss pole to give it a nice, and then try to straighten it out as much as possible. Can you kind of, there we go. And I'm gonna just try to give it the support that I can. If you want to look and see, that's probably a little closer than I would usually do, but I'm for the sake of this, since it's kind of really, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And then I think what we'll get out of this is a huge, well-supported.
I think so too.
I really do. I think
it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be happy on this moss pole. It's probably been the most neglected rare plant that I have in here, and done really well. But I will put it in some kind of cash pot to help it.
Yep.
Oh dang it. Okay. I just really want to give it the support that it needs. And oh, good, nice. Okay.
I wasn't scared.
Okay. It's really interesting, kind of how
you can contort it still.
Yeah, like it's pretty.
Look at that. That's great.
Pretty good. I did not think it was going to be able to do that well, but wow. Yep. It's going to be super happy that we not only repotted it, but we put it on a moss pole. What?
Look at us.
So now you can see here, and I'm going to go ahead and put the tag in the front. It is already 3,000% happier.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just looking at it like right now from everything. It is so just happy, and I can tell. Can you tell?
I can.
So that's amazing.
It looks great.
It looks happy.
Can you turn it this way? Turn it. And
I could probably put, I'm going to probably put, and this is just new, well, I don't know. I'll probably put
fertilizer.
I'm gonna put it over there in the big old that area there.
It's gonna go in the jungle.
Yeah, it's gonna go in the jungle, and I'm probably gonna spray it down with some pest control stuff of some kind, and maybe even I kind of already did that, but yeah, I'm happy about this. I'm really happy about how this turned out. I can't believe that it was just hanging up there and it's this tall. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to follow along for more in my plant room.
The plant room.